In today's video, Nikita Dragun receives major backlash for throwing her best friend an extremely large birthday party while the cases in California continue to soar. That story coming up now. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. If you're a return subscriber, I sure do appreciate your continued support. If you're new here and you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Everyone give this video a big thumbs up, click on that notification bell and select it to all. That way you'll be notified when I upload my next video. Before we get started, and as always, I do need to remind you all that I am a drama commentary channel. I have opinions and I speak them freely. Opinions are not facts, they never have been facts, and they never will be facts. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive in. On July 21st, Nikita Dragun surprised her best friend Larray with a Dragun Style 22nd birthday party. A truly sweet sentiment and a wonderful thing to do for her friend. But the problem is that the party was filled with an alarmingly large number of guests. Among the guests were Tana Mongeau, members of the Hype House, Tony Lopez, James Charles, and Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio. Based on this picture that Nikita Dragun posted on her Instagram stories, the party started out by having dinner at Boa Steakhouse and then moved to the Hype House located in Los Angeles, California. By the looks of it from the footage, it would appear that the majority of the guests did not wear masks throughout the party and were clearly not practicing social distancing in a state where the cases of those getting sick have risen dramatically. Here is some of the footage of the party from Nikita Dragun's, Tana Mongeau's, and Tony Lopez's Instagram stories. In order to avoid a copyright claim, I've replaced the music.
Hi Dragons, tonight is a very special night. It is the night before Larray, my best friend's birthday, and he's the type that does not like to celebrate his birthday, do a big birthday party or anything. So this year I've decided to throw him a crazy surprise party, Dragun style, and let's just follow the adventure. Are you guys ready? So take this as your warning for tonight's events. The following is rated TV, MA, TS, PS.
As you can plainly see, it is fairly clear that the party was very large and a majority of the guests in attendance were not wearing masks or social distancing. This is a major concern, as you can imagine. According to the Los Angeles Times, California has the most cases of the virus in the U.S., passing former leader New York. Johns Hopkins University in Medicine currently shows that the state of California has 421,286 confirmed cases, while New York has 408,886, although the death rate in New York is still far higher. The city of Los Angeles reported 3,266 new cases as of July 22nd, according to the Los Angeles Times, bringing the total cases to 164,000. Things in California have gotten so bad that the city of Los Angeles is seriously considering a second stay-at-home order. According to officials, Los Angeles' numbers are rising so rapidly that a second stay-at-home order may be needed in order to stop the surge. If they don't, the intensive care units could become overwhelmed with patients. The mayor of Los Angeles blamed the surge of cases on premature reopening and residents going back to business as usual as if the virus was gone. Nikita Dragun throwing a very large party where it was believed to have had an attendance of anywhere between 50 to 100 guests, although thoughtful and kind, was very irresponsible given the state of things. Disgusted by her lack of concern for the virus, many have called her out. In her tweet wishing Larray a happy birthday, someone tweeted, "Happy birthday to Larray, but partying during a pandemic is not cute, especially when there's no masks or social distancing. It's funny how influencers love to preach about wearing masks and staying safe and go to parties every other day with huge crowds." How don't you guys realize how severe this is? People are losing loved ones, jobs, and literally everything because everyone couldn't just stay safe for a few months. I know you guys are all loaded and don't have to worry about losing your jobs, but other people do. Y'all think that your partying doesn't affect other people, but it does. It's not just about you, especially when people like Charlie, who was just at the hospital for a surgery, is at this party. Any one of you could have the virus, and now when you go to the store, you're risking the lives of essential workers and people who can't afford to lose their jobs. Do you realize how much of an influence you have on people? That's your job, an influencer. You can tweet, wear your mask all you want, but when you don't even listen to your own tweet, what makes you think you're positively influencing anyone? Actions speak louder than words. Another person tweeted, "California numbers are rising. There is a mask mandate and social distancing is strongly encouraged. What are you doing? Going to a large party with other influencers? You are not immune. Your friends are not immune. This is one reason why our country is so messed up." Finally, this person wrote, "Cannot express how extremely tone-deaf it was to not only host the party that you did, but then to broadcast it on your profile without any regard for the global pandemic we are in. It is so incredibly narcissistic and stupid to encourage this on your platform knowing the risks. You are not exempt from this virus either, and you can't hide the people calling you out behind secret emojis on Instagram. You're a bad influence. It's one thing to go out and do these gatherings in private, but then to showcase it to the world, many of whom haven't been going out except for necessities, just isn't effing it. You're too obsessed with yourselves, you don't even see it." Influencer means you have an influence on others, what they do, how they act in the world. Influence them positively to be a unified community against this, not whatever the F you're doing right now. Others that attended the party were criticized as well. Charli D'Amelio posted a birthday tweet to Larray and someone replied, "Are you not going to address that you went to his birthday party with 50 other people in the middle of a pandemic? Damn real irresponsible of you all." Another person wrote, "Very bad of you to attend a party in the midst of a social pandemic." Tana Mongeau received some backlash on her latest Instagram post. Here are just a few of the comments that she received. "Yo, what are you doing? Why are you guys partying like you're trying to make the world worse? What's better, getting people sick and dying or staying in your fame? Stay home and wear a mask, girl. Don't be selfish. Please be a better role model and stop partying during a pandemic." Anyone wondering if she got the blank already? I'm waiting for the "I tested positive" video, girl. James Charles also received some heat for attending the birthday bash. One fan tweeted, "Love you, but I don't support all of you not wearing masks or social distancing during a pandemic. I know you want to have fun, but it ain't the time right now. Some of y'all saying the quarantine has lifted in some places, but he lives in LA, California." Someone else tweeted, "You went to a house party in the middle of the worst global pandemic in 100 years. I hope the hangover is horrible." And finally, this person wrote, "No masks, no social distancing, and partying with a huge group. Dude, we're in the middle of a serious pandemic. No wonder the rest of the world is staring at us in disbelief. At this rate, we'll never get back to normal with people making choices like these." Even some YouTubers are calling them all out. Tyler Oakley tweeted, "If your favorite influencers are at huge house parties during a pandemic and are dumb enough to post it on social media, they are bad influences. Unfollow them." Hi James Charles, Nikita Dragun, Tana Mongeau, Larray, Charli D'Amelio, Dixie D'Amelio, and any others who have been partying in large groups. Please consider social distancing, mask wearing, and using your huge platforms to encourage responsibility during a worldwide pandemic. I also asked my Twitter followers how they felt about it. My good friend Not Another Drama Channel replied, "Selfish, entitled brats." Ashley, aka Nick Snyder's #1 fan, replied, "I agree." And someone else said, "I'm so angered by these fools throwing parties and such through this. I put my life on hold to keep myself and my high-risk roommates safe, and these selfish people are out in these streets like nothing is going on." But it wasn't all backlash. Fans of some of the influencers decided to stick up for them. One person tweeted, "No one gives a F about it right now. My parents have to work from home. Too many people have to work from home. No one wears a mask anymore. We have more important things to handle. It's not even that big anyways. Most people who have the positive virus aren't actually positive." This fan said, "Y'all stop being petty about the masks. Some states have lifted quarantine because they have little to no cases. They shouldn't need to shut down states the minute they get one case. Australia is doing the same. Plus, all of these people have been together in the past month." And finally, this person tweeted, "Y'all butthurt, but at the end of the day, they're only putting each other's lives at risk. They don't mingle with strangers. Plus, over here in the UK, we're still supposed to be social distancing, but no one is. Masks are becoming mandatory on Sunday. Like everything's effed." Well, those were certainly interesting. At the time of me filming this video, not one single influencer that attended Nikita Dragun's party for Larray has publicly spoken out about attending, not wearing masks, or properly social distancing. And now it's time for my 2 cents on this. It was very generous and thoughtful of Nikita Dragun to throw her best friend Larray a surprise birthday party at the Hype House. Clearly she is a kind and loving friend, but the timing was in very poor taste. The cases are rising so rapidly in California and the city of Los Angeles that it was extremely irresponsible to throw such a large party, and Nikita should have known that, along with all of the guests that decided that it was a fantastic idea to attend. There is nothing wrong with wanting to have fun, but health and safety needs to be the priority right now, as people are literally dying in the hundreds of thousands across the world, and medical workers are overwhelmed by the sheer amount of sick patients. To throw such a large party right now is essentially a slap in the face to every doctor, nurse, caregiver, etc. that have been working so hard. From the footage that we saw, it doesn't appear that the majority of the guests wore masks, and social distancing doesn't appear to have been thought of. To be fair, they could have had temperature checks at the door, and there is even the possibility that they vetted every single guest that showed up, but sadly, we just don't know because no one bothered to show any of that if it happened. While we're on the topic of showing footage of the party, not exactly the most intelligent decision to be perfectly honest. If you're an influencer with any kind of following and you're going to ignore a mask mandate and refuse to social distance by going to a huge party, you don't broadcast it to the entire social media world. Truly a "what were you thinking" moment, but it's pretty clear that they weren't. I know a lot of their stans think that all of us critics are overreacting and that they are only hurting themselves, but that is certainly not the case. If someone attended Nikita's party for Larray that is positive and showed no symptoms, that person could have infected a large majority of those that attended, and then when those that came into contact with that person go out into the public, they too could spread the virus to innocent people unknowingly, and then that person can spread it to someone else, and so on and so on. There is a reason the cases are spiking in California right now, and it's because some people seem to be more concerned about their social life than doing what's right. They need to stop and think of others besides themselves, and right now it's just too big of a risk to take. People are dying in the hundreds of thousands, and other people's lives shouldn't be gambled so they can have a few hours of drunken fun. To be fair, Nikita Dragun isn't the only one at fault here, and I'm not placing the blame solely on her, because everyone that attended that party are as equally selfish and guilty. But it was her idea to throw the party, and she should have had the sense and common decency to delay it, throw a virtual party, or at least keep the gathering to a minimum where social distancing was easy and everyone wore their masks. Nikita tweeted back in April that both her mother and sister work in healthcare. "My mom and sister are both healthcare workers selflessly fighting every day to help others. Thank you to all the amazing healthcare workers around the world during this time. We love you." You would think that she, of all people, would understand the seriousness of doing everything you can to stop the spread of the virus so that people like her mother and sister aren't overwhelmed and put in added danger. It seems to be a thing lately that social media influencers think they are above the mask mandates, social distancing, and quarantine orders. Some preach that everyone needs to do their part and wear masks, quarantine, and social distance, but aren't practicing what they preach, and believe me, people are taking notice. Larray tweeted back in March, "The fact that there is a virus going around and some of y'all really going out risking your health to go to a party with people you don't even like is so stupid, but crap, I'm bored, send me the Addy next time." Tana Mongeau is notorious for not doing her part. She has been partying frequently, not wearing a mask, and not social distancing at all, which, considering her health condition, is alarming. YouTuber Deaf Noodles tweeted yesterday that Tana suffers from asthma. They tweeted the following and posted a screenshot of an article discussing her condition. Clearly she doesn't care enough about her own health, so why should we expect her to give two craps about anyone else's? She's purely childish and self-absorbed. Jake Paul is another example of an influencer who just doesn't care. Def Noodles also tweeted fairly recently this TikTok video of Jake Paul having a very loud and large gathering at his home. No one appeared to have worn masks, and clearly there was no social distancing being practiced, and the mayor was pissed. Jake Paul also recently attended Abby Rau's party in which he came into contact with someone who tested positive. According to Jake Paul, though, as of right now, he, and I believe his crew, have tested negative. Hopefully their luck holds out and they start taking this much more seriously. Be sure to check out Def Noodles on both Twitter and YouTube, as they are always posting great stuff. I'll link them down below in the description box. As far as James Charles, I'm honestly shocked that he even attended the party. I didn't see him as someone that would be so reckless, but here we are. Whether these influencers realize it or not, or whether they care or not, they have fans, a lot of them young, that look up to them, and right now their behavior is not setting a good example. If their favorite influencers don't have to follow mandates, then why should they? If they think that the virus isn't serious enough to warrant wearing masks and social distancing, then why should they? Maybe it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, they are going out partying, gathering in groups without masks, having a great time, and they appear to be okay. Aside from having an influence, they are also not helping the situation improve in California and Los Angeles. Unless everyone does what is requested by the CDC, things are not going to get better, making it much longer before things can get back to normal. I think it would be wise for Nikita to put out a statement regarding the party to discuss the safety measures that were put in place, if any, especially if there were, so people would know that they did in fact take it seriously, because right now they don't. And if it turns out that they didn't, then an apology should be made along with an acknowledgement of the seriousness of the pandemic and the promise to do better in the future to ensure safety. The fact that she, as well as others, have people sticking up for their serious lack in judgment should be enough to push them to speak on it, because people shouldn't be thinking it's okay to do what they did. I also believe that all the influencers and TikTokers that attended that party should put out some sort of statement apologizing for potentially putting the public in danger, and explain that they realize that the pandemic is something that shouldn't be taken lightly. Honestly, this should go for all influencers and TikTokers who are purposely gathering in large crowds and foolishly posting it to social media. Tana Mojo and Jake Paul. I'm not holding my breath though, to be perfectly honest. Aside from maybe James Charles, I really don't think the rest of these influencers and TikTokers give a crap what anyone thinks, and they're going to keep doing what they're doing no matter what. Hopefully, no innocent person ends up paying the ultimate price for their carelessness. So, what are your thoughts on this situation? Do you think everyone is overreacting, or do you think these influencers and TikTokers need to pull their heads out of their rear ends? Let me know in the comments down below. But remember to please be respectful. We can each have our own opinions and be adult about it. Name-calling, petty insults, and vicious attacks will not be tolerated. Thank you. And with that, I am out of here. Thank you all so much for spending some time with me today. Remember, if you are new here and you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Everyone give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you hopefully very shortly on the next one. Bye!